Hello everybody and welcome back to WoW Mods. This time around we're back and I have a bit of a surprise for you. So as I was looking into my different folders, trying to look at some of the stuff that I've done in the past, because I've been having a lot of discussions about bringing some things uh, back. And lo and behold, what do I find? Yes, that is correct. This is the old Dalaran mod that I thought I had lost. Now, there are no guarantees. I have not walked into that mod since the original video that I put out a while ago. So there might be stutters, there might be crashes. I'm just kind of happy that I found it. The way I had to assemble it back together again was a bit sloppy, but other than that, I haven't touched the design. I haven't gone back into it, so it should be cool for me to go back into the city itself, or the settlements. So what I had decided to do back then was that I wanted to restore the outlying parts of the village. When World of Warcraft was originally designed and when Vanilla was designed, towns were all just sort of, these structures put in together, clustered. It was before those unique world items, the WMOs, what we call them, the world mass object. So when you walk to Stormwind, that's one massive object. When you walk to Orgrimmar, that's another one. And, the Dalaran, floating in the sky is another giant object. So before the game was designed like that, with special considerations, most of the towns were depicted by just being houses and barns and details and walls, like a lot of the early vanilla settlements. So the idea behind making Dalaran that way is actually, if you looked at the original vanilla Dalaran, there was a dome, and you could see some of these walls, these same model of walls sort of jutting out. So back then, I remember we were saying, like, oh, well, eventually they'll lift the dome and they'll reveal that they've constructed a town. And we were expecting it just to be built with the other pieces of the game. And that's where the idea for this came about. So these sort of like little three settlements outside the walls all sort of specialize in different things. This place is more of your of like a farming village. There's a bit of a dock down there that if you follow this path, it'll take you down there. Oh, there's a lot of lag. Okay. So the lag is due to some of the duplication issues that this had back when I was using this version of Nugget. So I believe I should be able, so long as I extract the files correctly, be able to run them by the new Nugget, and that new Nugget should actually make the corrections. Technically speaking, it's the same type of fix that I did with the High Elven area that was unplayable. This has its flaws and it has its stutter, but it seems like it's playable, so I don't see why there would be any issues in me putting this through the new software and just figuring it out. That's not a promise that I'm going to be working on it, mind you, though. I just wanted to be clear about that. Right, and then you have, of course, the little town in the middle as you come in before the city gates. Nothing much here, but your standard stable and a house / place that people can eat. It's like a tavern, but not really. It's a stopping spot, and then across towards this direction, you have a town that specializes in apple plantations, I believe, and wine production or juice production. There's some carts with all the sort of crazy produce that they get out of their little gardens. You've got some of the apple trees, some of the apple carts along the way, some big tubs of whatever, and then there's a shitter here in the back, and some trees. It's not there in terms of like the level of detail that I do now, with some of my mods, but it's a nice footprint if I did want to work on this a bit further. That guy is just floating in the air. If I did want to work on this a bit further, it would be a good project to undertake. Also, having the newer version of the game makes it, I think, easier, perhaps, to achieve what I wanted to achieve. And now let's see what the inside of the city is looking like. So, not bad. It's still like one of those places where I'm not like 100% convinced by this enormous road, but it's sort of the product of having this big doorway. So maybe there's something to be had here in the design of this entrance. You can see sort of the custom buildings that I've made have the textures of the Magic Quarter and Stormwind. Some of them have, of course, the glass work from the modern Dalaran. You go through here, you have sort of like a street market. You got some potions and books here with what looks to be like a magic store. A sort of tower, which by the colors and banners looks like it's of high elven influence with the statues there. So having, big lag. Having the high elves makes sense. If you go down here, you're going to have a little park, I guess, where the high elves can sort of just chill out. Nothing too impressive, like nothing to the level of what we see now in Quelimon. But just some big open green spaces, a bit of flat terrain actually, if I think so about it a bit. So there are a lot of like corrections that I would make to it, but I don't know that I will. So let's not get our hopes high. This is a nice garden. I like the purple detail and the flowers on the floor and everything. I think I did a good job on this area here. I probably wouldn't touch this too much. This looks just right about where I would want it to do. It'd probably have more bushes and more alley stuff going around here, and figure out something for that building as well. What else? Let's see. Let's keep going. We've got just some random towers. You know, Dalaran in Warcraft 3 was pinkish, like the one in game right now. But it also had like a bunch of random towers that are a lot different than the ones in game right now. So this was supposed to be sort of like a Draenei quarter. The idea was that this Dalaran would be an alliance-only Dalaran, and that it would have areas for the alliance's races, or magically inclined races. And I mean, I could have not included the Draenei and could have put in like gnomes or something else, but I thought, you know, you have to leave it kind of where it is. Now this area of I was never particularly fond of it. It didn't make a huge amount of sense to me, but I don't know. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think some of these areas should be, or what they should look like. Consider into effect that these are like city sewers, which I won't bother to go through them, because if you want to see them, you could go to the first video as well. Give them a watch, not fall off the thing as you're going up it. And yeah, so that is that particular part. Let's go through here. Let's just go here. Yeah, this just needs a bit more work. It's just like, it's not up to par anymore, but it's good to get it back. I thought it was long gone. And maybe I'll make it available as is. We'll have to have that sort of discussion. You got the statue of Antonidas over there, and you got the city hall and all the stuff, really. Here, this is sort of like the central Mage Tower. Of course, you can never go all the way up because it's just a WMO. But that's all right. That's perfectly fine. So we'll go ahead here, and I'm going to say that it's been interesting. It's been interesting to be back. It doesn't seem like, yeah, it doesn't seem like I put any particular interior to this building yet. So there's nothing much to see there. Yeah, so that's it. So Dalaran is back. I wanted to take some time to go back and take a look at it. It's interesting. I don't know if I'm going to work on it to be 100% honest, but it's cool to look at it as is nonetheless. So, having said that, I think that I will be calling it this time around. So I hope you enjoyed. We'll be back. We'll be back with more stuff. I'm just, again, trying to settle a couple of things before I can promise that my voice will be working perfectly. And I'll be back. So until then, everybody, take it easy. Bye-bye.